and this is Almeria Life, bringing you news and information about life on the Costa Almeria, and brought to you by Remax Paraíso, the experts in property sales in this part of Spain. And today I'm with Myra Holmes, who is the president of the Dames in Spain, which is probably one of the best known and longest established clubs or societies here on the Costa Almeria, which is aimed sort of more specifically at the foreign resident people who live here, of course, which we are many. So, well, Myra, thank you very much for having us here in your lovely home in Huércal-Overa, which is with fantastic views, I might say. Well, so for the people out there who don't know what the Dames in Spain, they may well have heard of the Dames in Spain, but perhaps they don't know what it actually is.
The Dames in Spain is a group of ladies who meet once a month to meet friends, make friends, meet up with old friends, and usually we have a demonstrator or a speaker from the local area who has interesting things to talk about. And actually, the Dames in Spain started 30 years ago.
Is that right? Has it really been going that long? Gosh, 3 decades.
And it's interesting because it started with a few expat ladies having coffee mornings in each other's houses. And they used to bake scones and make cakes and have coffee and sell them and make money, small amounts of money for charities. And it gradually grew and grew. And they eventually had to find a meeting place large enough.
It's about
larger than somebody's sitting room.
Yeah.
And they decided they had to find a name for themselves.
Right.
And after listening to many suggestions, one of the husbands suggested, why don't you call yourselves the Dames in Spain? Well, in the absence of anything better, the Dames in Spain we became.
Yeah.
And have been such for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And growing year by year.
Because now there's a lot of members, aren't there?
Yes.
Including my mum, I might say.
True, who's been a very long-standing member.
Yes, she has, yeah.
And the objectives of the group, basically, is to promote friendship among expats.
Right.
Provide them with contacts, maybe banking contacts, solicitors, the local health service, direct new arrivals into the vital, to the vital places that they might not know about.
Yeah.
And to help them make friends.
Yeah. So it's got there's a sort of a practical side and a social side
True.
as well.
And our main objective is to raise money for charities.
Right, very
And we try to support local or Spanish charities because we, after all, live in Spain and we need to support the stuff around us.
Yeah.
And so we support the Spanish Cancer Research, who do a tremendous amount of work.
Absolutely, yes.
And Alzheimer's and the local Red Cross. We've done a lot of work with them. And also there's a small group of ladies who call themselves Stepping Stones, and they meet in Touré under the guidance of Fanny Davis, who is a long-standing resident.
Indeed she is,
in this area.
yes.
And Fanny Davis was Tarleton Travel.
Oh gosh, yes, that's going back a few years, but I certainly remember that,
True.
yes.
And she supports carers of sufferers from Alzheimer's.
Right.
So we make donations towards her little charity.
Which is a fabulously worthy cause, obviously.
True. And over the years we must have raised thousands and thousands and donated thousands and thousands.
Which is lovely, that there's all these different sides to it, that it's providing a way for people to meet people, practical advice, but also doing such good work as well. True. So it's a fabulous thing.
And over the years we've had and developed some momentous things, really. We used to raise money by having a spring sale in the grounds of the Puntado Hotel.
Right.
And we would have stores where people donated things or came to sell things and gave us money. That was a big fundraiser. And we also started a bowling competition, that's Crown Green Bowling, in conjunction with the Cabrera Bowling Club. And we used to arrange for the various bowling teams to meet at Cabrera on a particular day in summer and hold a competition. And we would provide the prizes and lunch. And we would have stalls where we sold all sorts of things, homemade stuff and books and various things, again, all to make money.
Yeah.
However, that became a bit of a dead duck because it was a bit out of the way for many people to come and spend money.
Yeah.
So we made our Advent Carol concert.
Which is a major thing, because it's Christmas around the corner as well.
Fundraising event.
Right, so that is the big event of the year then?
For us. The local Ayuntamiento were approached and very kindly allowed us to use the room at the Multicentro.
Right, which is here in Mahaka Village, I should say,
which the Third Edad, the pensionistas, use. So we moved there, and from there the carol concert just grew and grew, and now we have to use the large room upstairs on the ground floor, which is really a tremendous event.
Yeah.
So, from starting selling scones and cakes, having spring sales, having bowling competitions, we now have this huge Advent carol concert, and it's surprising how many of the people, the local people from the Pueblo, look forward to it.
Absolutely, yes, and it isn't an exclusively British or foreign thing. It is very much for everybody, a real sort of part of the annual Christmas calendar here in this area.
But we also raise money throughout the year because we have raffles at all of our meetings.
Sure.
And so we're always busy looking at ways to make money. Some of the donations we made, when the Red Cross building was first started up on the playa, we helped pay for the furnishings.
Is that right?
And set it up.
Right.
And we also donated a computer to the pensionistas office at the Multicentro. And also we'd give lots of one-off donations to things like to be careful in looking for places to make our donation.
Exactly, so that you're benefiting a whole range of different local associations, and in some cases like the Tsunami, obviously an international cause as well.
And also we support a young boy through school. I think he's in Uganda, I'm not sure exactly, but we've been supporting him for several years now. Otherwise he wouldn't be able to get to school.
Wow.
He's slightly disabled. And but through our support he's making great progress. And we do get photographs. And we do communicate with the school.
So members know that when they're, the money that they give for the raffles and so on, it is going to something which is really, really worthwhile, as well as the Dames providing them with something which is very, very valuable to people living here.
Means the ladies have somewhere to come, have social time, social morning, and in doing so, we're helping other people.
Yeah, and make a lot of friends, meet a lot of new people. Where maybe when particularly if it's people who've just moved here and they don't know anybody, it might, it's a great way of meeting like-minded people. And of course, I should say that the Dames, it's not just the monthly meetings and the charity events. That you also organise a fairly packed agenda of trips and excursions and even mini breaks as well.
True. We've got a mini break coming up next week to Marbella.
For example,
But it's not just to Marbella. We go by bus and we've got a chance to have a day in Malaga or a day in Ronda, a day in Gibraltar.
Wow.
Or if you don't want to do those things, you can just take a taxi down to Puerto Banús or to the large shopping mall in Marbella and shop till you drop. So that's a pre-Christmas thing. But we've also do day trips. We've done a recent one to Cartagena, which
is a
was
wonderful
lovely.
place, very near here, yes, or relatively near here, thanks to the motorway.
Several things, and also the shops.
Of course,
Lovely
yes,
shops.
there's lots of, which again, it's easier for people rather than having to drive themselves. They can go in a group. They can just, as you say, shop till they drop, and then they're driven home. So
or enjoy the historical part of it.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, it's really, you know, again, it's more things for people to be able to do here.
One of the most memorable things we undertook was way back in 2003 when one of our committee members contacted the producers of Gardener's Question Time, the BBC programme.
Yeah, very, very, very well known program. It's been going forever, hasn't it?
So true. And invited them to come and broadcast from Oaxaca.
Yeah.
So out arrive on the team and have a chat to us all. And they go back home and they confirm that yes, they would love to do their Christmas Gardener's Question Time from here, and they broadcast it from the Parador.
And I remember, I was there.
Wonderful for all of us.
It was brilliant. It's absolutely, and it was a brilliant programme, as I recall.
Brilliant, and so many people attended, and the Ayuntamiento came up absolute trumps and provided all the refreshments for everyone, and it was really tremendous.
And a wonderful feathering well in your cap and in the cap of the Dames.
Dames.
The Dames in Spain, to bring such a prestigious national BBC programme to the area. If I remember correctly, the first question was about how do you stop wild boar getting into your garden?
Something like that.
The house down, yeah.
We sort of moved and grew and developed. And some of the ladies of the Dames in Spain lived in Touré. And they decided that they could start a dames group in Touré.
Yeah.
So they moved on. I think Doreen Woolton was one of the chairman presidents that helped build it up, and she's still a member now. They became the Dames in Touré, and they're very successful.
Yeah.
Very well known, doing all sorts of things for the people around Touré. And then, some years back, we had some ladies join us from Huércal-Overa.
That's right.
They used to travel from Huércal-Overa once a month to join our meetings. And one of the ladies asked us, how could they set up a group of their own? So our committee got together with the ladies from Huércal-Overa and helped them set up their group. So now they really have a strong group in Huércal-Overa.
Right, so three different branches, as it were.
It's starting just from the one.
Yeah, that's amazing, from sort of humble beginnings of coffees and cakes to...
But the Huércal-Overa group do some really interesting things in connection with their local Ayuntamiento in bringing the local community and the expats closer together.
Sure.
And it's all in the name of providing interest, friends, amusement, education, however you look at it.
Well, whichever way you look at it, it's a fantastic idea, and really a very, very valuable part of the local community. For everybody, as they say, not just for the English-speaking community.
No. And I think you'll see from the notes, we have some Belgian ladies members, Dutch ladies.
Yeah, exactly. It's certainly not by any means exclusively British. It's open presumably to any woman who's interested
cares
in
to join us. Also, we're not political, secular, whatever.
Yes.
Non-denominational.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter whatever religion.
For anybody.
It's not discussed, and politics are not encouraged because they bring contention. And
would it be fair to say that it's similar to the Women's Institute in Britain?
Some people would say so, but we're not about making jams and pastry.
Right, which is important to stress, because
True. We're quite different, because probably we're slightly more mature ladies, some of us, and we've gone through the cake making stage, but it's more about finding things of interest. For instance, the trips and the visits.
But this is worth making the point that, of course, in this area, there is an awful lot to see, and a whole variety of things to see. And it's very helpful having an association like the Dames in Spain to be able to discover them, and to be able to discover it comfortably because it's in a nice organised group and you have guides and so on. Talking of which, of course, there is quite a full programme coming up for the winter season, because we should stress that you take a bit of a break in the summer months, don't you? Because it's,
from April
it's
to
holiday
September.
period, it's not really
people go
have other
away.
things. But this is the programme for the coming winter season, and we can see here that there's coach trips, there's talks, there's all sorts of things.
True.
Yeah.
And we have quiz nights, beetle drives, also celebrate International Women's Day. International Women's Day.
Right, which is in March, isn't it?
We've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. And we really do make it a special day. And we celebrate at Desert Springs. We have an absolutely wonderful day celebrating women that made our life the life it is today.
Yeah, absolutely, which is very worthwhile indeed, obviously. So of course we should stress that, but to be able to enjoy this, people do need to join.
Yes.
This is a sort of a basis. And how can people go about joining?
Well, we have our meetings every third Monday of the month at the Parador in Oaxaca.
Right.
And the meetings begin at 11 o'clock. You can join there. It's €14 for a 12-month membership.
Right, which is very, very
or if you want to just come as a visitor, just as a one-off, it's €4.
Right.
And we have lovely mornings there, and we have our raffle, and there's coffee and tea, and then, as I said earlier on, we have our speaker or demonstrator. This month we had Kevin Borman, who gave us a wonderful talk on his book.
Talking about, his book Exploring Almeria.
Too true. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
And it really opens your eyes about Almeria.
Sure, exactly.
Which is an amazing place.
It is an amazing place with all sorts of wonderful things to discover, whether it's beautiful countryside or the wonderful coastline or historic sites, towns, villages. We really are very, very lucky here. And of course we're very close, as you say, to places like Cartagena, just over the border in Murcia as well.
In October we had a lovely talk. Ken Yu from the guy. He was tremendous. He talked about computers, iPads, laptops.
Again, incredibly useful information for everybody.
And was able to answer loads of questions.
Yeah.
And these are the sort of things that we do at our meetings. And so anyone wishing to join, they can call at the Parador on the third Monday of each month.
Right, so they can just come along the Parador, which is on the main beach road, very easy to find, we should say.
Easy to park.
Easy to park, absolutely.
And a very nice venue.
Or is there information in the local
we usually,
press as well?
I think in the Advertiser and the Euro Weekly and the Costa Almeria News, in the What's On things.
Right.
We always announce our meetings and the dates.
And people can pick these publications up pretty much everywhere, can't they?
Too true.
So there's always plenty of ways to find out. And presumably, new members are always welcome.
Oh, absolutely. Last Monday, whether it was Kevin's attraction, we had 3 or 4 new members join.
Wow.
Which was really, super.
Because of course we have new people arriving all the time. Whereas it's always a sort of a growing population here. So it's great for people to know that it's really a very good starting point. I know that when my own mum moved to this area about 12 years ago, it was one of the first things she did was to join the Dames in Spain, and from there she just developed an entire social life. My mother is never at home, in fact. She's got a fabulous social life, and it's very much thanks to clubs and associations like the Dames in Spain.
And I must ensure that you're aware, we are a legal charity.
Right.
We're registered. Having garden parties. 1 or 2 of our ladies have got large gardens.
Right.
And they've offered to loan us their gardens, and we've taken them over and had wonderful garden parties with stores and sideshows and competitions. And this again has helped us to raise a lot of money.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's a wonderful thing that whilst everybody's very, very much enjoying these events, behind the fun there is a very serious side to it, which is raising money for very worthy causes.
We've had some wonderful chairmen. I've served under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 6 and being chairman myself.
Yeah.
And now I'm president. And our current chairman is Irene Benson,
Right.
who was our committee member for trips and events. And all the ladies do put in, the ladies of the committee do put in an awful lot of work, a lot of thought.
Absolutely, yes. And of course you do it voluntarily. We should stress this, that it's thanks to people
True.
like you that we do have these clubs and societies here. What have you got from the dames in Spain? How do you think? How can you imagine what your life would have been like here if you hadn't had the dames in Spain?
Quite lonely.
Do you think so?
But I am an outgoing person.
Yeah.
But I would have missed meeting many very interesting ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because although we're a ladies' club, their husbands do come with us on trips.
Right. Yes, you should say this. Husbands are not banned from coming on the
and
trips.
They're people from all walks of life, all parts of the country. Some have lived in other parts of the world.
Right, yeah.
And everyone is so interesting.
Yeah.
And you make friends. I have made friends.
Yeah.
And also, as I said earlier on, going on the trips has opened my eyes to lovely places in Spain.
Yeah. So for you, the dames in Spain really has been a great thing. It's obviously something that you work very hard on, but it's also allowed you to meet a lot of people, discover new places, and probably get more out of living here than perhaps you would have done if you hadn't had a dames in Spain.
Because by meeting all the different people and talking to them, you learn more about because they really. I can only say that in the 14 or 15 years that I've been in the Dames, I've enjoyed every minute.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Every single member is absolutely lovely, and they all give quite a lot.
They do. There's a lot of people here, as we say, give a lot of their time, give a lot of money, and yes, they get a lot back from these kinds of clubs and societies. But there are also people who give a great deal
of their time and talent. See, we've got some tremendously talented
ladies here. Yes, indeed, we have. So
that's true.
Anyway, Mara, thank you very much for talking to us. It's been a real pleasure. I've actually learned quite a bit more about the dames than I knew, and I really think that we are. I'm always saying this, but we are very lucky in this area. We have a huge range of clubs and societies, but the Dames in Spain really is one of the big ones, isn't it?
It's one of the original ones.
It's one of the original ones, and it really does provide people living here with so much.
Too true.
Yeah.
And we celebrate our 30th anniversary on the 18th of January 2016.
Right, so beginning of next year, big event, I imagine.
Thank you
So much. It's been absolutely fascinating.
Well, I hope everyone enjoys all the information.
And carry on the good work, of course.
Of course we shall.
Absolutely.
For many years.
Many years. Thank you so much.
Thank you.